YouTube, today we are checking out a deck from Crokeyz. This is a high octane, 100% gas deck. It's crazy. It's so much card advantage, so much card draw, so many interesting plays that I think you'll really love it. The core of the deck, it says Naya Adventures. So you have all your adventure package. You've got your Innkeepers, your Bone Crusher Giants, your Lovestruck Beasts, but you're also having some white adventure creatures, right? Your Giant Killers and your Shepherd of the Flock. One of the signature cards of this deck is Showdown of the Scalds. So it's one of the big reasons, one of the big upgrades that this Naya, really the Adventures deck in general, got as a result of Kaldheim. So in case you don't know what it does, it's absurd. You pay 4, 2, 1 red, 1 white, and you get to exile the top 4 cards of your deck, and you get to play them to the end of your next turn. And then this chapters 2 and 3 of the saga are whenever you cast a spell, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And so you can even, if you want to be tricky, you can do all sorts of weird things with bouncing the shepherd, or using the shepherd to bounce this showdown on the 3rd chapter. When that trigger's gone in the sack, you can then bounce your showdown. And I was doing a quick count, I think, and this deck has something like 16 or 18 1-mana spells. So there are lots of cheap things you can do to buff up your creatures to kind of swing in at will and just kind of overwhelm your opponent. You're also running the Great Henge, so all these creatures you have, they're all going to cantrip and get counters on them whenever you get a Great Henge in play. So that is the kind of quick overview of the deck. It is Naya Adventures, and you're also playing Showdown of the Scalds for added card advantage and just kind of inevitability, really, just getting absurd value and grinding out whatever your opponent does. And with that said, I'll get into the games, see how it does. Okay, we are on the play with Adventures Naya style. Give it okay start. Go Lovestruck into Giant Killer. We'd really love to find an Innkeeper or a Showdown of the Scalds, because we have tons of mana, but we just need some help doing things with that. Oh, let's make sure I play the right pathway here. Start my game off with a 1-1. See what my opponent's playing. Will determine whether or not I play Giant Killer. Gates of Istfell. Might be dealing with some kind of control here. A little scary, potentially. But I've made my decision by playing that mountain, whether I wanted to or not. Next turn I go Lovestruck Beast. I think I want to save Giant Killer to get more cards out of it from the Henge now that I have that. Though we still need a second source of green to be able to actually start casting the Henge, or actually cast the Henge, I should say. I'll hit my opponent for 1, and like I said, play Lovestruck Beast and hope to try either a Fabled Passage, a Forest, or another blue, or rather green something pathway. And then my opponent, they played Crawling Barrens, further, I think, supporting the hypothesis that they are, in fact, on some kind of control. So they could have got Doomscar there, foretold it. Maybe we'll display it. No? Okay. They foretell something else. So we don't actually get... to get out Great Henge here, because we only have that 1 green source. And again, in the... at the risk of playing into a Doomscar, I'm not going to play out any more creatures right now. Rather just hold what I have and not get totally blown out by that. Opponent does get their 4th land though, so they're not missing any land drops, unfortunately. Alright, we get an island. Snow covered no less. Like Nico defies destiny, so they're going to gain some life here. Okay, but we get our land. So that's good. We'll go to combat, hit my opponent for 6. Play Branch Loft. Play Great Henge. Here I am going to just play out Giant Killer. It's going to get me a card whether or not they deal with Great Henge. Innkeeper is tempting as well, but I think I hold on to that. You're gonna get some more mana though they can use there for tell things more aggressively now. Or cheaply. Okay, there's the Doomscar. That's what I was a little bit afraid of. But we can Mask Vandal now, get a creature out of my graveyard, exile their Nico Defies Destiny so that I'll get another Doomscar. There's also that Midnight Clock I could be mindful of. So I can Scavenging Ooze away there, or Telcard over the target with the Destiny. So I guess the better play is Vandal on their clock, Scooze, take away their Doomscar. Okay. Bone Crusher. They're getting pretty low too. They're only at 10 life. That's a little rough for my opponent. I only have 1 mana too, so they can't counter. Then maybe they're gonna bounce Great Henge. That's a good play. But it's good I used the mana from it, I suppose. Oh, okay. Off the clock, sure. Get that tap for mana. But here's what we can do. Okay, find a Showdown of the Skull. Let's do that's big. That is big. I guess we'll play the Pathway as a red source. I guess we just hold full control. And exile their target. Because they could have done something like a, Glimpse the Cosmos or something, and then they could have gotten that back. But we are gonna be mindful, we're gonna play around it. I guess they could have also got their Sot coming back too. So, waiting makes them choose a target. Sure as we get rid of it. They do have Crawling Barons too, I have to be mindful of. I can't just blatantly, blindly attack. I have to be careful of, if they get multiple of 8. I guess of 4 really. They can go 4/4, make it a big 4/4 creature. They do actually just hardcast a Shark Typhoon. That's a bold move for my opponent. We have 3 creatures in the graveyard. So we can make Scooze into a 6/6. They're gonna go to 1 here potentially. Gotta take off full control. Stop wasting your time. Okay. And then we'll just stomp them. There's Love Struck. I guess we just go for Showdown here. Draw cards. That's pretty nice. That another white source, I guess. Go Innkeeper into Bone Crusher. Bring out Shepherd, bounce something. Just again getting absurd amounts of card advantage. I found another giant too, so they're dead on 2 now instead of being more resilient. My growing board. So Doomscar here would be rough, but that'd be most of their turn. They would get a 5/5, although it's gonna actually it would get killed by the wipe. Okay, they play Hold the Multiverse, so they get a 4/4. But that puts them out of Doomscar range, so they can't wipe the board now. That's not an out for them anymore. I don't know what they're gonna need. They're gonna need like 2 bounce spells or something and a land. They take 2 though. Whatever they saw, they liked. And wait a minute, we can also. I think we just win because we can Bone Crusher. We can stomp, bounce, stomp. Alright, we have to play it again, I guess. Get it at the Adventure Zone. That would deal 4 damage as we have it. I don't think we can. Stomp, play, bounce, stomp again. That'd be a lot of mana. Okay, they Raven form. Keeper. Sure. I guess this works because we can get in for 1 and then even for 4 with the double stomp plan, like I was saying. Oh yeah, we can even just do all this dumb stuff with playing cheap spells. Okay, so we stomp them with a +1/+1 counter. We bounce Bone Crusher. This is just disgusting. Okay, so opponent though, they are on control. Blue-white control, no less. They were foretelling a lot of cards. They had Doomscar. Could consider bringing in Phoenix of Ash or Elspeth Conquers Death. And I'm trying to think, what other permanents did they have? They had the Midnight Clock, which they didn't want to lose. They had their Saga. Both 3 mana. Both are also targetable by Masked Vandal. Yeah, I think maybe we should be bringing the ECDs here. What do we want to take out, though? Couple giant killers, I guess. Like, I mean, they are creatures, and they do work well with Innkeeper, but at the same time, they aren't going to be doing much against my opponent here. And I'm torn between bringing in a Phoenix of Ash or a Masked Vandal. We take out a Maul and put in a Phoenix. Kind of another do-nothing hand. One at mulliganed. So how good of a play do I think Stomp into Bone Crusher Giant is? It's honestly not terrible. We're gonna try keeping it. I think maybe I'm getting a bit greedy because they mulliganed here and they're on a play, so they might not have the best hand. So maybe if I can just be consistent and just start throwing down threat after threat, I can just outvalue them. Which again is something that this deck does amazingly well. Just throwing down the Battle of the Skulls and just getting all that absurd value out of those sagas and then bouncing it with the Shepherd of the Flock. Like, it's just disgusting. And you know, I really just don't know how any deck can hope to compete against that. Now here too, I am gonna, I guess, risk getting countered by not stomping last turn. But at the same time, they didn't do anything last turn, and like this deck has a lot of foretell stuff, as we saw before, so it's kind of like, what were they doing? What were they up to? Okay, well, no counter, I guess. That is what they were up to. Here, I guess I just hold off a turn, because I just drew that Innkeeper. So we can play Branch Loft as a green source, play Innkeeper into Giant. Okay, there's this showdown. I do now have Counterspell up though, so there is that to be mindful of. I guess we'll just lay out the Innkeeper so they don't know I have Bone Crusher, or the next mana to play Bone Crusher. They know I have Bone Crusher, but they don't know I have the mana for it per se. But as it happens, I do, and cast it. We get to draw a card regardless of if they counter it or not. And okay, they just let it happen. Giant Killer is actually a decent draw here because we have that Innkeeper, just kind of cantrips and we get a creature. And again, they haven't done anything. Like, I'm just gonna hard cast it. Okay, last casket, the Giant, sure. They have 3 mana up. Apparition, sure. Get my Innkeeper. What we are just going to show down here is going down. Okay, well we have an Elspeth Conquers Death. We can hit their Apparition. Play a Pathway. Yeah, I'm actually just fine playing Giant Killer here. It's gonna fuel Masked Vandal. I could snipe Casket or any other scary permanents that they play. Like, what if I like ECD'd my Showdown or something, right? I can just snipe it with Vandal. We'll see though. Okay, they don't even attack. Sure. Okay, so you could stomp their Apparition and then go Vandal and get Scoos, or we could just go Elspeth Conquers Death. They have a counterspell. They are going to benefit from me playing Elspeth Conquers Death because I'm only going to get one thing through and it's going to be countered. Although I'd lose Scavenging Ooze. So if I... How good is Scavenging Ooze really though? They have nothing in their graveyard right now. It's kind of a do-nothing permanent. Kind of a do-nothing permanent. I guess we'll play Bride Crown as a green source, or red source. So we have 2 of each color. We can play Shatter Skull if we need to. And then, like I said, because Scoos is kind of a do-nothing permanent right now, I'm just gonna play Elspeth Conquers Death, and if they have a counterspell for my ECD, so be it. Oh, okay, let it through. We'll get rid of their Apparition. Or at least target it. Maybe they're gonna bounce it. Okay, they just behold the multiverse. Okay, so I think that worked out well for me. We also now make it less appealing per se to board wipe because I'm gonna have a creature in the graveyard if they would do that, and have to get it back with Elspeth Conquers Death. On the other hand, though, they aren't really in a position where they're under a lot of pressure. It's gonna be like a 3 damage a turn. They also just bounce a Giant Killer. Okay. Could have bounced my 1/1. I guess you're not afraid of that at the moment. Fair enough, though. It's not exactly the most threatening of creatures or of effects. And you do have to be a bit mindful here of their Crawling Barons. If, you know, over time they can just get enormous. You can just one-shot you if you don't pressure a control deck. But here it's looking like that's not going to be the case. So opponent gains 2 life off of their Nico Defies Destiny, leaving 1 mana or 2 mana up. Okay, well, their counterspells are going to be more expensive now. They have 1 creature or 1 foretell card in their graveyard. I mean, I guess we could go to combat, hit them for 1. Vandal. I guess that was a mistake. I don't have a creature in my graveyard. Oh no. Big woof. Big woof. Man, that was a... I don't know why I thought there was a creature in my graveyard. Don't know why I thought there was a creature in my graveyard. When it is thanking me. Or is taunting me. We're just gonna go to board, I guess. I mean, they could Doomscar, but I get a creature back from the ECD. Maybe they'll still do it. It could be an okay play. The Casket. Taking the Vandal, sure. Six mana now. don't do anything. For 6. I guess too, they know about Giant Killer, so if they let their Barons get too big, I can just hit them. Or I can just chop it down. They don't even play out Brazen Bar Warriors, so they're probably going to Doomscar or something. Maybe they were just playing around the last chapter of ECD. Okay, yep. Sure. Yeah, they foretell their glimpse of the cosmos. I guess we can just play out Giant Killer here. At least put some pressure on. Play land too, just to thin the deck a bit. Let's actually double check I have enough. Okay, I do have, in fact, basic lands left. Okay, now let's watch what they have in their scrying future. What are they gonna put top? Are they gonna put bottom? They put 2 bottom. Okay. What I like to see anyway. Their pathway. Foretell another card. Foretell another card. 2 foretell cards. Okay. Well, it is Great Henge. Well, yeah, I guess we just go for it. They have a counter spell, so be it. Okay, yeah, then. Okay, they crack Fable Passage either to play another Glimpse of the Cosmos or hold the Multiverse. I'm thinking the other one, the Draft Bomb. Okay, they have another Behold the Multiverse. Sure, get to do some draw in there. One top this time. Okay. So we really need to seem like hit a Scalds, shot into the Scalds, and get this ball rolling. My opponent does foretell yet another card. Okay, they animate. I'll take 2. Crack the land now. May as well get red. It's the least common of my colors right now. Okay, no such luck. In terms of finding any action. Just go to combat, I guess. Okay, opponent's half dead. Look at that. Play up Brazen Barber. Sure thing. Hit me for 3. Sure. And here is a showdown. We try to bait them into countering something else, I guess, but they're not. They are not falling for it. It feels terrible to play out a showdown into. They had 3 cards, and one of them was foretold. But they do just start pumping up Crawling Barons. Next turn 2, we have the option of just Shatter Skull smashing, getting rid of their Brazen Borrowers. Oh, and they have made a blunder. They have made a blunder. Oh, you don't let that happen. You don't let your creature, your land become a creature unless you, and it hits someone with it. Can they foretell something else though? Could I bait them with the Giant Killer? Gonna, you know, slow their clock down substantially, so I wouldn't be surprised if the counter, but they choose not to. Perhaps wisely. Then I'll try to wipe their board with the Shatter Skull smashing with a bunch of rocks. And if they don't counter this, or if they do counter it, we'll follow up with the Showdown of the Scalds. We are dead to another Brazen Borrower though, if they countered this and play that. Okay, but that was one of their... that wasn't one of their foretold cards, right? They only need one foretold card. Okay, and that's the last of the counters though, it seems like. Last of their instant speed plays. So we can go Innkeeper, we can go Shepherd, and there we have it. Instant board. And they have to have something good, I think, here too, because I can play a lot of cheap stuff next turn. I'm going to be drawing cards, I have a ton of mana. And every time I cast a spell, one of my creatures gets bigger. They just hit me for 6 though. ECD Showdown maybe? Yeah, okay, on the Showdown. Not a terrible play. Okay, so we actually are still in this here. Because of that Bone Crusher Giant. So we can go to combat. Swing for 4. I'm gonna stomp now. So if we need to find an answer, okay, well they don't have a counter. But I was gonna say, so if we need to find an answer, we can use the card draw off of the Bone Crusher to try to find something. It would be a desperate move, low likelihood of success, but it would be a move nonetheless. And I may as well just play this out. I don't really need mana at this point, so I would rather have creatures. And I guess I'm going to lose this Innkeeper. But that's okay. Okay, well, we're going to make sure to tap it down. Okay, there we go. Tap down. Give him Scar. Okay. Okay, so we go with the Bone Crusher first because it's not going to be lethal. We play Heart's Desire for sure. Put lethal on the board. We played the Love Struck Beast. We're gonna get a creature back. Do they have anything scary in the graveyard? Looks like they just have Borrowers, so they can't block on the ground anyway. I guess I just play it out. I behold. Okay, for one of the cards, that's kind of bad. A little scary. Could be a counterspell even? No. We'll pass the turn, I guess. Man, close. 3 to 5. Opponent's gonna get a 4/2 next turn. Guaranteed. Okay, then they get 2/2 Shark. Okay. So they will be able to block one of my creatures. I'll have to see if they find anything else to do. These 3 cards that they found. Okay, one was a land. We've only seen 2 borrowers at the moment, so they could have more. They could bounce the token. Starnheim unleashed. Okay. So we swing, bounce, stomp. And if they're greedy, we can kill them if they don't block the Bone Crusher, if they have to kill the 1/1. Okay. That was a smart block from them. I guess I'm just dead, huh? I guess I'm just dead. Okay, I'm gonna put another Massive Vandal in. I think that could be a good card as long as I don't misuse it again. Blatantly misuse it. Put another Phoenix Vash. We do have sharks, but I haven't seen that many of them. I've seen 1 Shark Typhoon in each game. So maybe 3 or 4 in their deck. Kind of looks like a gaseous hand. I have to be mindful of the colors though. I play this pathway as a green source, so I won't be able to ensure I can cast Shepherd. For the safe play is to go Kazandu Valley into Lovestruck, or into Heart's Desire pathway, I guess. Or I don't play the pathway and hide the fact that I have Shepherd here. Shepherd. That's a tough call too. I think for now, I'm gonna play the Mountain. Tough call. Nah. I'm gonna go with a somewhat greedy play. But try to just deploy Lovestruck Beasts and get Great Henge value ASAP. It could Glass Casket my Innkeeper, which would be awkward, but at the same time, it's going to be a casket that's not containing Lovestruck. If we're told something, play Mountain, go to combat, my opponent to play Lovestruck. If they have a Doom Skull, it's going to be annoying. Okay, well they have the mana for it. No, okay, they defy destiny. Oh my god, okay. Play Forest. Go to combat. Hit 7. Henge it up. I think we'll play 1 and keep her out. Hold them at the verse for free off of their saga. But at the same time, like, they're already facing down 9 damage. They can't Doom Skull this turn. They can Casket the Beast and then only take 4. Okay, yep. They Casket the Beast, it looks like. Foretell something. Alright. We have Fable Passage though. play that. Go to combat. Hit them. Two damage could be big though. They're going to be we go to 7. I guess I can still do that with the Shepherd. I can bounce it, and getting 3 cards off of this just seems amazing. Okay, we find a showdown. Yeah, okay, well. Now they're dead on board again. They get back their Behold the Multiverse, so you have some more card advantage to do, but they need to be wiping the board like last turn. Okay, well there's the board wipe. So we're going to rack the Fabled. Gonna get white. Gonna Shepherd, get our precious giant home. Can't stomp again, which is a little unfortunate. There's 3 mana just kind of sitting here. But what can you do? So we can play a Fabled Passage. Rack for red, I guess. Stomp them. Seems good too. Okay. Yeah, they just had enough. Okay, we are playing rogues now. I think we'll keep 7 though. One at mulligans, okay. A little awkward to the mana base. So probably just gonna grab red. We can play Bone Crushers in the future. Okay, but like I said, we're gonna grab a mountain. There is an interesting choice here between playing out the Lovestruck or Innkeeper. I'm gonna play green source for sure. And I guess we Innkeeper here. I don't think they're going to spend their turn killing Innkeeper. They could be wrong. Could be gravely mistaken. They could have a Blood Chief's Thirst ready and waiting. An Innkeeper's name written all over it. There it is. Okay. So they do opt to spend their turn doing that. That's okay. Kind of really awkward mana base this game in. Every turn leaving 1 or 2 mana up. So, leave mana up. Don't know that I want to be giving them cards to bring back. I'm just gonna play a Lovestruck. Yeah, the Enforcer. Only for 2, and then are they going to Drown the Lock? Oh, they have 4 cards. Nope. Another Enforcer. Okay. Oh, you really want to hold on to this? I guess not, because they have the buff from having 8 cards in my graveyard. We can double stomp next turn though. It's not the worst thing in the world. But open the door and start putting pressure on them so they can't just dirtle around and, you know, recur all their stuff and do Luris games all the time. So it's not the worst spot to be in. But I do think that Rogues is probably one of the worst matchups for this deck. Just because, like I said before, it is tough when your deck is getting milled out and you're so good at just doing all these tempo plays against you when you're kind of going the long game and they're just stopping you from getting to the long game. Okay, opponent swings for 3. Not interested in blocking. They crack Fable Passage though. Are they gonna play something or leave up mana for Into the Story? Unclear. Okay, well they don't do anything. Fine by me. We're gonna start by stopping the untapped Thieves Guild Enforcer. Okay, they play Soaring Thought Thief, sure. I guess they get more mill up. Makes sense. Okay. Swing for 5 at my opponent. No blocks. Okay. Bolt in. Get Batterskull down. Or Bone Crusher. Batterskull? What? What? Bone Crusher and Shatterskull. Okay, was Batterskull the old 2-3 that tapped things when it attacked? Maybe it was a thing. Maybe I'm not entirely crazy. But my opponent just main phase Into the Story, assuredly digging for lands, but okay, they're gonna attack me, and they're probably gonna regret it. Okay, they milled 3 showdowns. Pretty annoying. Then again, I guess I could have giant killered it. Just swing in here. 5. Yeah, and here I think the play is playing the pathway, playing Giant Killer as a creature so I can tap them one of their blockers, and then playing Giant. And that should be it. Okay, Rune Crab. 1 mind, okay. Got 2. I haven't played a land yet, I don't think, so they could get 4. Okay, here's 4. Killed Giant Killer. Thinking about doing something else. Not sure what else they're doing at sorcery speed. Maybe playing another of 1 mind. Or Bloodchief's Thirsting, the 1-1 maybe? Maybe that's what they're thinking about doing. Stop my 5-5 from attacking. Whatever they were thinking of doing, they don't do it. Swing out here. Shepherd of the Flock should seal the deal, I think, by just getting damage in, bouncing whatever one hits, and then just killing them. Yeah, it's still lethal. They want to destroy my 5-5. We can stomp to... Yeah, it's actually fine. We have lethal here because of the giant bounce. Alright, and here we go. Watching the auto tapper to make sure that I don't tap my 1 planes or I kill my opponent. Okay, there we go. So, we take out the Masked Vandals, put in the Scoos, put in the Clothis. Scorching Dragonfire could be a bring in as well. We take out a couple of Showdowns, because I don't really want to be milling myself, per se. We take out Maul, again, I don't know, these equipments are going to be worthwhile when they can just, like, you know, kill my creature that's holding it pretty easily. Put another Phoenix here. Right, let's see if we can take game 2 here and get a clean sweep against Rogues, a matchup I was previously saying was one of our worst, but this hand isn't helping, so we're gonna have to send it back. This hand's doing a bit better. We keep 6, we can send back a Giant Killer. Start with a Fable Passage, grab green so we can go Lovestruck, and in the future Scavengers. Or we play the Mammoth now. I like that better. We don't really know what we're going to want this Fable Passage to be ultimately. Could be that we want it to be green still, or maybe we need white or red. But honestly here, I'm just down to jam Innkeeper Giant Killer. Seems like a decent enough play. I don't think they probably can't counter Innkeeper now unless they have an Essence Scatter. If they don't, they get a nice little cantrip here on the Giant Killer. Gotta get a Thought Thief in. Sure, another Skews, not too bad. We do have Scorching Dragonfire up too. Probably want to Scorching Dragonfire the Thought Thief. I guess when I say I have it up, I don't have it up. So I think I said, yeah, I actually made the exact opposite of that. That's great commentating, huh? I need to use the Fable Passage to get red as it stands, unless I draw out the pathway. Okay, well there is a pathway that is favorable. Favorable to these endeavors. So we're going to play it as a red. I'm going to go to combat. I'm just going to send my 1-2. Okay, I'll let it through. You can go Heart's Desire here. Set up for Beast next turn. Okay, and then we can Dragonfire their Thought Thief. Miscast. Interesting. Now, getting this Skews down is going to get around Heartless Act because we have a creature in our graveyard now, right? So we can exile it, give my creature a token, and have it be safe from annoying effects. Okay, we'll play out Skews. We can also hold up Stomp now. So that's another good trick. I'm gonna play a Thought Thief. Sure. Opponent swings. They do nothing. It's kind of weird because I crack Fable first. They can kill Skews before I get the land in play. If I leave 2 mana up, it's going to affect my decision, assuredly. A Little Mage's Domination, my Innkeeper, sure. Okay, some green mana going on. Start eating some stuff that they have milled. I'm okay just sending, I think. Might just chump it and get another card in my graveyard. Or they might not. They can't be running adventure creatures because they're... Oh, they could be running Valamire Knight. I don't think they are. I think I'm just going to go for green here and emphasize on eating my graveyard. Keep them off of into the stories or things like that. I guess I could just tap it, huh? It's not the way to keep my graveyard from hitting 7. Okay, it had me for 1, sure. Seems like you would want to have blocked, but I don't know what's in your hand, of course. Bolton Agadim Undercrypt. I guess it's not going to be effective with the Skews on the board. Get rid of my graveyard bit, I guess. Trim it down. That's at a healthy 4 cards. Ooh, we found a Great Henge. I guess here I am going to eat something in my graveyard, the one creature, before they eat it with their scoos that they can actually use with their Triumph. That's a little interaction gotta be mindful of. You don't want to lose out on protection or lose out on a counter because of that. I guess we will tap something down. On the Thought Thief, I guess. Yeah, so they do want to send. They don't want to hold back. We only have 3 cards in my graveyard, so we can, if we draw a land, we can resolve a Great Henge. This could be the end. Okay, no such luck. Though we do have the advantage when it comes to green mana. We have 3, they only have 2. So if we want to, we could stomp the Innkeeper and then eat it 3 times. Yeah, I'm really not sure what my opponent's up to. They clearly have something. Something flash speed I have to estimate. Okay, another Thought Thief. Sure. Tap one of them down. I'm just trying to keep them off of Into the Story. Are they gonna pay mana to beat me to it? Go for it, bro. If you wanna waste your mana, it's all you. I got 6 cards in my graveyard. Retire a creature. They don't have anything particularly scary in their graveyard. I mean, I guess we just force their hand, make them spend a mana now. Reduces what they could have. Oh, okay, they just let it happen. There's the hand. Sure. Missing that 6th land drop really hurt. Really, really hurt. And I guess I just play out the Shepherd. Even though that seems like a really bad play. Yeah, I don't know. One is low on life, that's the one thing I have going for me. But then again, I'm low on life too. The Thieves Guild is going to put me over the edge in terms of the threshold. Yeah, they swing out. This game might just be lost. Yeah, I'm gonna be taking 7, going into 5. Yeah, I think this game's just over. I think this game is just over. Let's see if we can't recoup our losses, take them down in game 3. We just run it back. I'm still not sure on the proper number of skulls to be running in this matchup. Though my opponent hasn't been as explosive as I've seen other opponents be in terms of milling me out. Okay, Clothis is nice. We can play at T3 as well if we play out the Mammoth. I think I'm okay doing. If we play at the Mammoth, T2 we either stop something or Heart's Desire. Because we want to just ensure that Clothis resolves, right? We don't want to play it into any possibility of getting countered, because if, like, we can just resolve that. Oh, we even have a second one. So with that in mind, actually, it's not as important, I suppose. And for the sake of preserving my ability to play white cards, I'm not going to play the Pathway now. Probably gonna have to play it as a red source next turn anyway, but don't know that for sure yet. I don't even know what my opponent's gonna do here either. Okay, well they play a Fable Passage, so that pretty much precludes any kind of counter spell here. They could have that, instant that countered my Heart's Desire last time, but it's not gonna counter Clothis, fortunately. So we'll play a. I guess we'll go to combat first. They could have the 1/1 Rogue. And if they have it, we want to be able to have them mill cards. Okay, they have it. Out of Phoenix. Okay. Next turn, it would be ideal if we draw a land. We can go Innkeeper into Lovestruck Beast. Worst case, we go Innkeeper into Stomp, Healer, Enforcer, and then threaten to exile it, of course, with Clothis. I have another Enforcer, though. I get the 4 cards in my graveyard. Oh, 6 actually, right? Because they both triggered. Okay, well, no such luck. I could hit a land in my graveyard. I guess perhaps I should have stomped on upkeep. We'll get rid of the Scalds, I guess. Not go for the mana. Go for the damage. Go to combat. Attack. I think we just go for this. Although they could have that instant or sorcery up that countered my effect again. But at the same time, if I do this now, they don't get to double trigger on a rogue and get me for 4 and get up to the increased power. Now they only get me to 7 off of playing a rogue. They could play Thought Thief, get me to 7, attack, get 2 more, and give me to 9 cards in the graveyard. Yeah, they just kill the Innkeeper, sure. You could even exile land this turn and then play Phoenix of Ash, swing for 4 in the air, or 3 in the air. I guess it would be 3 in the air, 1 on the ground. And of course, whenever you're playing Klothys against rogues, you have to be mindful of, you know, making sure it never becomes a creature. I don't know, I think here just because I'm not in any real peril of being milled out, I'm fine just getting rid of their creature there. And here we can just swing for 1. They play something we can stomp. They don't. Okay. I had a Bone Crusher. Okay, they draw me a locket. Sure. The clock is ticking, and you're going to be hard pressed to answer it before it goes off. Maybe for 1, and they're at 7 cards in my graveyard, so they're like 1 off. Get Lurrus to hand. They would want this time. I guess we just take a land, go red. Okay. 3 cards. Either even farther from getting their bonus. Go to combat, hit for 4. Play a Mammoth. And they don't even have any targets for Lurrus in their graveyard yet. Take my Phoenix. Pretty annoying. Let's shrink my graveyard. We go to 7. Guess we play Love Struck. Play Pathway as a white source. We can go to combat. I don't think they're gonna block. I'm gonna take it. Guess I can replay it. Hit me for 3 in the air, sure. And a Mammoth. I gotta really put an upkeep stop. Stop missing my triggers here. See if they have a counter spell. I'll let it happen. See if they do anything in step. They do. We'll kill Lurrus in response. They can Agadeem's Awakening, but it's going to cost them their whole turn. Swing, we're not going to block. Okay, they do it for 6. Sure. So wait a minute, we could just win here, I think. We play Bone Crusher. We bounce it and stomp them. Or stomp Luris. They're tapped out. Okay, that's it. That's the line. That is the line. Okay, we get red. Play out Bone Crusher Giant. Play the Plains. Shepherd. Bounce Bone Crusher. Okay, that's the line. That's how we do it. Stomp Luris. Hit for 5. And that just shows what an insane card Shepherd of the Flock is.